Alright, so this is really just a first impressions on the NYX foundation. And a couple of other things, but more of like a wear test on the NYX one. So I have the NYX Total Control Pro Drop Foundation in the shade Alabaster. So they've had the drop foundation in the past. It's just Total Control. It's not called Pro. So this one's a little bit different. So this one says lasting, lightweight, sheer to medium coverage with a demi-matte finish that looks true to skin. Features an easy to use glass dropper for customizable application. Control your coverage. It says 2 drops is sheer coverage, 3 drops is medium, full is 4 and up. We're gonna try that. And underneath that, I'm using their new primer, which is the Marshmallow Primer. I haven't heard a ton on this. It does look really interesting though, which is why I got it. I'm just gonna start with that. I really hope this doesn't break me out, but I'm gonna pump some on the back of my hand. It doesn't feel weird. It smells, honestly, if you've ever had an ear infection when you were little, you might know what I'm talking about, but there's a white liquid medicine that I used to have to take for ear infections when I was little. This is what that smells like. Okay, so I'm going to shake the foundation up. I'm gonna do one side with a sponge, a Real Technique sponge, and then the other side with my Kat Von D brush. I'm just gonna put some drops on the back of my hand. Well, that's weird. So I don't think it's supposed to come out like that. I think it like got dried up in the dropper because here is like a solid bit and the rest is pretty liquidy. So that's interesting. I'm guessing since it dries down a bit, that's why that happened. So I gotta be honest, a little bit goes a long way. I think the color match is pretty spot on. It does look like there's a bit of a cast on camera. So let me just, I'm gonna do the other side first. I'm avoiding the little mishap that came out before, because I don't know about that, but another drop for this side with a brush. Okay, I'm gonna zoom you guys in. Hopefully you can see. This side with the brush looks a little bit better than the sponge side. The sponge side, I feel like, I don't know, I feel like it's sitting on my skin in a weird way. But around my nose, it's not looking great, and I wonder if that's because of the primer. But I'm gonna try and build it now, and I'm gonna build it with the sponge, and it's definitely doing a white cast on camera, which is kind of weird. So I'm doing one more drop. Just to build. So if I'm being honest, this white cast is really throwing me off. I don't know. Once I set it, hopefully that goes away. But I feel like this is very similar. This is very similar to the, what's it called? The MAC Face and Body. I haven't used that in a very long time. This is how I remember it being. It was very skin-like and liquidy. I'm gonna see if it sets down. I'm gonna put my concealer on and contour, and then I'll come back. Okay, so I still didn't set it, but it's been long enough that it has self-set. I don't feel it on my face at all, which is really nice. I can touch it, nothing comes off on my hands. That's really great too. I do want to set it so I can put some other stuff on it. I am an oily gal, so I never go without setting something. So I'm gonna set it and put bronzer on, and then I'll come back and I'll let you guys know what time it is, and we'll see how it's going. But I just wanted to zoom in for you. So without setting, it does look a little bit textured, especially around here, which happens with a lot of my foundations, to be fair. I'd say mainly my chin is textured, the rest really isn't that bad, but yeah, we'll see how setting the face and stuff helps. Okay, so this is the makeup fully set. I put a little blush on and some bronzer. I didn't put any highlight on, just because I want to see how it looks later on in the day, and I don't want it to get kind of confused with my oil because I am an oily girl. So honestly, with powder it looks super soft. You can still see my freckles, which I don't mind, and that brings us to the next product we're trying. So my freckles get pretty washed out in the wintertime and also underneath my makeup, and sometimes I want coverage, but I also don't want to have to go in and spot conceal all of my spots. So instead of using a sheer foundation and letting my freckles show through, I use a full coverage one. And this is a more sheer foundation, or I'm wearing it more sheer, so I wanted to try this Lottie London Freckle Tint. I've heard it's a dupe for Freck, and I'm basically just gonna go over all of my freckles that I can see. I'm just gonna enhance them. So we'll see how this goes. It's my first time using a freckle product, so I don't know how good it's gonna be. And I heard you have to let it sit for a little bit before you start tapping away. I'm gonna start tapping. I could have just ruined like my whole face. Oh, that's pretty cute. Now the other side. So I'm thinking the person who I watched who was like, you need to let it sit, wasn't as fair as me. Because I feel like I didn't have to let it sit. So they look pretty cute. Not as real as obviously real freckles look. I'm gonna put some darker ones in just for variation. They're cute, they're just obviously fake. So yeah, I think I'm gonna try and come back and update you guys on this NYX foundation. So far I actually really like it. I'm wondering if it will transfer onto a mask. Maybe I'll test that, I'm not sure. But yeah, I'll see you soon. Hey guys, it's slightly in the future me. I layered it some more and I think it looks way better. Right? It looks way more natural now, at least to me. Like, this looks like my actual freckles that are underneath all of this and hiding for the winter. But yeah, I'm pretty pumped. I really like it, and now I feel like it's summertime, and it's not, but I want to go swimming now.